All right, folks, it's time for the Marines to take Karg Island. That's the subject of the riff. So, the clearest and most straightforward condition in the performance-based deal with Iran was a reopening of the Strait of Hormuz with no tolls. Freedom of navigation is a long-standing international principle. So, the Iranians have been firing on ships and firing on Gulf states. They're even firing on American military bases, thereby violating the so-called ceasefire and violating the so-called Memorandum of Understanding. So President Trump's patience has run out. Now take a listen to the president about this today.
Mr. President, is the ceasefire over? Is the ceasefire done? Is the MOU dead?
It's a very interesting question. To me, I think it's over. I don't want to deal with them anymore. As far as I'm concerned, it's just a waste of time dealing with them. They can talk, but I think they're wasting their time. They're a bunch of lying guys.
Indeed, indeed. And so the U.S. bombing resumes. But I would suggest continuous bombing of Iran probably has limited value added. I'm not opposed to it, but it's probably had limited value added. Now, I've been talking to a number of military experts, and have come around to the view that the next big step in the Iranian war should be a U.S. takeover of Karg Island. That would completely cripple and destroy what's left of Iran's already decimated economy. Now, the U.S. Treasury has restored sanctions on Iranian oil sales. That's good. It will require, of course, military enforcement. But Iran quickly sold 50 or 60 million barrels of oil since the MOU was put in place. And that's got to stop. No money for them. No money for them. But back to Karg Island. Experts tell me our great fighting Marines can land and take it over with relative ease. The Iranians would be near helpless in the face of that kind of move. Now, it would be boots on the ground, but in a very limited way, and just in Karg Island. We're not talking about boots on the ground in Iran proper or downtown Tehran. Clearly, President Trump is thinking about taking over Karg Island. Listen to what he said.
We attacked Karg Island last night. We knocked out a piece. I said, don't touch the oil, because maybe we'll take over Karg Island. You know, we may take over Karg Island. There's not a thing they can do about it. But I said, don't hit the pipes, just hit everything else. And they hit it. They may hit it again tonight.
So it's in his head. I would also suggest that the memo of understanding be ripped up and a new one that is written by U.S. people, U.S. delegates, diplomats, that's very simple. Just a couple of key points. Reopen Hormuz, end all nuclear activities, move the enriched uranium out of Iran, verify with American and UN inspectors, and absolutely no money for Iran unless and until they abide by these essentially unconditional surrender requirements. Importantly, we need to put seasoned, experienced professionals from Treasury, State, energy departments. They should be placed at the forefront of any discussions with Iran. Secretary Rubio should be placed in complete charge of the operation, of course, reporting directly to President Trump. But the first step is Karg Island, and that's the riff.